Hello and welcome. You're watching and listening to My Public Life as an American Nerd. My name is Eddie, and I'm here with Eileen Dietz. Eileen Dietz, how you doing?
Busy, busy, busy.
Yeah, I hear that you're very busy doing some more movies and
Oh,
doing shows.
yeah, it's been awesome. The amount of movies that I've shot since September, and I'm doing the first horror convention that I've done in who knows 14 months, something like that.
So it's been 14 months since you've been out.
Something at least,
So
at
this
least.
this is your first one going back out?
Yeah, I
Since-
turned down some because I just couldn't deal with the COVID stuff.
Right, right. Did you get yourself vaccinated?
Oh God, yes, in March.
Yeah.
I'm ready for a booster. I'll do anything.
Yeah.
This is
Do,
big. To take a second. You guys out there, get vaccinated. What are you nuts? You're gonna end up in a hospital and dead. All the people, and we have as many cases now in Los Angeles as we did in March, apparently, and 95% of them have not been vaccinated. That's 95%. I get crazy about this. And then one thing, and then we can get off it. Did you get a polio vaccine? Did you get a measles vaccine? Did you get a smallpox vaccine? I don't know if you get flu vaccines. What are you, crazy? The government's going to somehow be able to track you? I'm telling you, if they cared about you, they'll track you on your cell phone. They got all kinds of ways. They're not going to put a chip in you. So get the goddamn vaccine.
They'll
Make
just
this
use
country
Google.
normal again.
Yeah, we got to get back to normal. I've been to a couple of shows these last couple of weeks, and people still not taking it seriously. Another virus starting to come up, and it's just get yourself vaccinated before you go out in public and try to bring these numbers down. I agree with
People
you.
don't realize what it's like to get COVID. I mean, everybody in the world should walk through a hospital one day and see the people on respirators that can't see their family. I saw a news thing about a woman who had a baby,
Oh,
and
wow.
they had to do it cesarean. And she said, "Please, please, please, get vaccinated." I didn't get vaccinated, and
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would really wish even at conventions they wouldn't let you in unless you were vaccinated or could show proof
Well,
of a negative test 72 hours before or something.
the few shows that I've been to, one of them was in Los Angeles County. It was in the city of industry, and they wouldn't let you in unless you had a mask on, even if you were vaccinated. So, yeah,
They wouldn't let you in unless what?
you had a mask on.
Oh,
Yeah,
and then they got to keep it on, and it's really hard for the guests, the celebrity guests, to be there with the mask during the whole show. I mean, I have trouble breathing under a mask, but
yeah.
we do what we can, and it's different. Selfies have got to be different.
Well, yeah,
You're not going to let people hug you that you don't know who they are and stuff like that.
yeah. We got to bring those numbers down, and as long as people are not getting vaccinated or taking this pandemic seriously, then they won't come down. But
they're giving weed away if you get vaccinated.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's one place that is, come down, get your joints, But
that's in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
Oh.
but I don't think it's the people that smoke weed that aren't getting. They're the highfalutin evangelicals.
Yeah. Well, let's.
They don't believe in the right to choose that way, but they believe that they can't make you and live. Okay, we have to get off it, but please.
Do you miss your fans?
Anybody that's listening?
Yeah, please get vaccinated. Do you miss your fans?
Oh yeah. Well, except that they're online a lot, and they keep in contact. And I've been selling a lot of my stuff that I sell at shows. I guess because people have the money. So I have 5,000 fans. So a lot of people have been in touch. But yeah, it's wonderful that I scared the living daylights out of so many people.
Yeah. For those of you, few of you that aren't familiar, you did a movie in 1973. It started off your career, and that was The Exorcist.
Oh, no, no, no,
No,
no.
no, no, no.
No, I worked a lot before that movie.
So you
It
did a lot.
just, I did a lot of things in New York City before that movie.
Did you do plays?
Sorry?
Did you do plays?
Yeah, I did. That's how I got into The Exorcist, actually. Some agents came to see this play I was doing by a woman named Joyce Carol Oates, who actually writes about wrestlers. It was
Oh wow.
a prologue to one of her novels called, um, and some agents came to see the show, and they called me the next day, and they said, "Are you interested in auditioning for this film called The Exorcist? They're looking for someone very small and strong who can act."
Yeah. Did you happen to know about the book or read about the book, or you just went for the audition for the part?
I don't know, but she gave me the book when I
Okay.
had the first interview and said,
Mhm.
"Go home and read it." And the book is wonderful. I mean,
Yeah.
it's even better than the movie. It's a fabulous book.
Yeah.
Anybody that reads out there, go buy it or buy my book. I have a
Yeah.
book called Exercising My Demons.
Exercising My Demons. That's right. And that book tells the stories that aren't in the Exorcist movie, but tells your story of your
He was
life. And
how a little tiny 5 foot nothing girl with buck teeth and flat lips found herself in The Exorcist. So it's a lot of good, happy stories and sad stories. How I actually became a working actress, and the guy who wrote it is a guy named Dan Louvier. I told the story, and he's just an excellent writer. There are parts in it that will make you cry, and everybody that's read it, which is a great compliment to me, said it was totally inspiring. And because I talk about dreams, if you drop a dream, it breaks. My
oh,
sister, who's an author, has written
mhm.
18 books. She came up with that. But if you break a dream, so I talk a lot about dreams and all the negativity out there, because everybody, including my parents, when I was 12, you can't be an actress. You're not pretty enough. You're not tall enough. You're not coming off of. There was a period in between like with Twiggy. I don't know if people know her, but
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
The
right
model.
before that was Jane Mansfield and Bridget Bardot and all these, like really sexy women
Yeah.
with these big boobs. And there I was.
Voluptuous.
I want to be an actor. I want to be an actor. So I got a lot of negativity, and you just have to close your ears to it.
Yeah. You have to follow your dreams.
Yeah.
Now, what religion were you? Were you a specific religion? Did you believe in the supernatural? Did you?
Now I was
according
actually
to
brought up agnostic,
Okay.
which of course means prove it to me.
Mhm.
So no, I wasn't. I am now, but no, I wasn't particularly a spiritualist either. My mother believed in the flowers in the ground. I'm serious.
Yeah.
And she believed that's where God was. And my father and mother were both big gardeners, and they had rose bushes. And we got really upset as kids because they were in their garden instead of taking us out to play at an amusement park or something like that.
Yeah.
But so that's where they were at, and they were more definitely of the spirit than religion.
While making this movie, did you have some scary moments?
When I was a child?
No, during the making of the movie, The Exorcist.
You got to buy my book. No. No, we were scaring people. So,
Right.
we were obviously on the other side of the camera. So,
Right.
I had one moment where I said, I was so cold because most people know the room was kept at about 5 degrees, so you could see breath. And Linda and I were the only people in these nightgowns, or the whole crew and directors and
These
stuff.
big
They had
jackets.
wetsuits on. Oh, jackets and wetsuits. And it was freezing. I said, "Dear this today. It's
Yeah.
just too cold. And as God is my witness, the sprinklers went off. Yeah, so they had to
Freezing
open
cold
up the
weather.
whole studio and including the bedroom. So there's tiny segments of the film that there's not uh, the breath coming out of people's mouths. So that was wasn't scary, but it was kind of whoa.
Yeah.
But no, we were the other side of the camera, so we scared people.
Now, how was
Who
it
can scare us?
in 1973 when this movie was released, coast to coast? There's only 23 theaters opened, and that first week it did $2 million. At that time, for that much money, that was a phenomenon that broke all the records of any movie that had ever been on box office. um I think.
But they were very clever about a lot of things too.
Mhm.
They were one of the first films that wouldn't let anybody on the set, including the press. So they built up this whole kind of what's going on in there. Then they wouldn't let people, I think the first time, they wouldn't let people into the theater until the screening started. And the new one started. So they took pictures of these huge lines, right?
Mhm.
And then of course they had the vomiting and the fainting and all that kind of stuff
Yeah,
that
I seen
they
somebody.
they enhanced that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they just created this phenomena that everybody had to go see it. And added to that, I must admit, is after the film they said, did you see that demonic figure flash on? What figure? The figure. It was only one. Now there's now
Yeah.
four. But when Father Karras's mother came out of the subway, I said, "No, I didn't see it." And of course, there were no VCRs then.
To rewind.
Um,
Yeah.
so people would actually go back to the movie in order to see that figure that subsequently scared the crap out of them.
Yeah. That figure happened to be your figure.
And the movies were seen, of course. All that stuff wouldn't have meant anything. It was bad. So and then word of mouth and all that kind of stuff. People had to go see the movie.
Now you're pretty much legendary in the horror movie genre. Um, they call it a supernatural thriller, but you're the one that set the tone for that demon that showed for the first couple of seconds, Pazuzu. um and other movies followed that.
Try to.
Yeah, try to, exactly. And there was also other movies that kind of spoof it as well.
Yeah, well, I could, spoofing the movie. I mean, the Linda Blair did one of those called
Mhm.
Possess,
Right.
which I think is a terrible idea. What are you kidding? And for her to do it, I thought was a really bad decision
Yeah.
to do it. It's not a movie that I just don't think it's a movie that should be satire.
Yeah. Yeah. The Pope himself at the time, he
I
uh
mean, once in a while in a big film, they'll do something, and they bought my film from the vomiting part, and they put it in. Um, oh, my mind is gone. I'll think of it. Tom Hanks did it. Someone who was the Burbs.
oh, the Verbs, yes.
And he goes in because he's so depressed, and he sees my vomiting scene on the TV. So people have used it, but to spoof it is I don't think it works. Do you?
um to me, to spoof that movie, it's not really funny to me. That movie alone was one of the scariest movies I've ever seen in my entire life. And I had to be 30 years old. I saw it when I was a child. I remember my mom taking us to the drive-in, and I was
How old are you?
I was four
No
years old.
shit. You're
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah, 4 years old. I remember going to see
Your parents should be arrested for child abuse.
I know. I remember that she said, "You guys go to sleep," but we're still awake watching the movie under the blanket. But I didn't say I saw that movie throughout my life, and that was one of the scariest movies because the
Did you understand it before?
no, not exactly. I knew there was the demon. I knew the demon possessed her, and I knew the demon came out of her. But I didn't understand how all that came about or what was going on with the priests and stuff like that until I got older. And when I got older, I understood the psychological effect it could have on a person. And I've always watched it with friends or around people. And it wasn't until my mid 30s that I actually challenged myself to watch it alone. And watching it alone, and I had lights on. I gotta say, I had the lights on. I'm watching it at my house alone, and it still gave that sense that someone or something or some entity is still around me, or can be, that this is a movie that's possible to happen. And that's a scary part of the movie. That's the thing that got me. I'm not sure if it gets everybody else, but
Well,
that
I
was.
think we create auras in our lives, good ones too.
Mhm.
It's not only, but I think we definitely create angels looking over us and
Yeah,
taking care of us. It depends what you allow in, and I think it's a choice that. And when I got to this old age of mine, that you can choose to be happy and protected
right.
and to find your own personal agents and angels. And I call them little miracles. I don't like coincidences or it was meant to be. I don't think anything's meant to be. But I call them little miracles and things we create in our lives. So I definitely think that we create demons in the form of what we're afraid of. And we're always afraid of things that haven't happened yet, you know,
Right.
you
Right.
know. Um, so that's that old thing about living in the present. There's probably nothing that scares you right
Yeah.
now in this moment, unless you're sick. I mean, that's not
Well,
a
there's no other movie that has had scared me in the past or even now that has scared me. Um, I'm a horror fan. I love watching scary movies. I've been watching them since I was a kid, and watching movies like The Evil Dead for the first time, I kind of felt um it being funny instead of it being really scary. The original Evil Dead, and then watching some of the horror movies that followed that one, and I would find the humor out of those movies, but I didn't see any humor in The Exorcist. It was.
Well, what do you think? My friends and I, particularly at conventions and stuff, that we sit around, we talk about what are the new classics? What are, I mean, we just had an array of riches from, the Halloween, Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Evil Dead. You can go on and on about the classic movies of the 70s and 80s, early 80s. So we're wondering what will still be playing 20 years from now that people will look up.
Exactly.
I mean, do any come to mind?
Uh, well, there are movies that are made in the past 20 years that have iconic figures, and they have iconic roles, and it's made movie to movie and made a franchise out of them, such as Freddy Krueger, Jason, Michael Myers.
Yeah,
uh
but those were all still 80 films.
yeah, there are 80
No, I'm
films
talking about
today.
2000
Yeah,
and on. Yeah, like
yeah,
James Wan's films.
you're right.
Um, Maybe, I don't know. Not necessarily the sequels, but that's true of everything. So, but what is the name of his film? It starts with a C. It just went out of my
The
mind.
Conjuring.
Yeah, The Conjure. I thought the first Conjuring was
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah, it was good.
Whether it's going to last, I don't know, but it definitely had scares in there.
They just released the third Conjuring, which I think it took the whole uh, franchise into a different direction. But I
I
like the
heard it was
first two.
awful.
Yeah, it took it into a different direction. It strayed away from uh, the feeling that there is an entity to there is um, a creature rather than the entity, and I felt that that's the direction it was going to go into. where The Conjuring itself, that aspect of getting scared or getting spooked by something that could be is more scary than a face or a figure or a mask. But the feeling that it could happen, and it leads
And
to the
particularly
suspense.
in the middle of the night where you're sleeping.
Oh yeah, exactly. One movie I don't think it's really scary, but it put that tone, and that's The Sixth Sense. The
Oh,
Sixth Sense.
absolutely. But
It
and he can't make another film after that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're exactly right. He's made several films. The Devil
He
Was
just
Pre-
had one come out that people are saying,
is
"Hello, you
yeah.
know what is this?" And people keep giving him money to make them.
Hmm. Yeah.
I can't pronounce his last name. I'm bad at that.
M. Night Shyamalan.
That's good. Shyamalan.
I
Um,
had to think
yeah.
about it.
Oh, The
He
Sixth Sense was brilliant.
Yeah,
There-
it was made brilliantly. I think the way it was directed was perfect. I think the the tones, as far as it putting in the scary effects, was perfect. um but I thought that movie was perfect the way it was, that he didn't need any special effects or creatures to come out and a and pop at you, or have that scary effect where it's going to shock you. No
the
shock
cat
value.
jumping out of the
Yeah,
wall.
yeah. I think that one is it will be a classic for a
But you
while.
think? Do you think kids today know of The Sixth Sense?
I had my kids watch it just this past week.
Yeah, well,
Um,
but that's because you're a horror fan. I'm
yeah.
talking about. In fact, I think I'm going to do a little poll this weekend. I think I told you I'm going to Detroit to do
Right.
Motor City Nightmares. I think I'll do a little poll when I see people of a certain age come up, you know, younger people,
Right.
and see if they know the movie. I'm really quite curious because they should, but see if they do.
Of which
I'm,
movie? The Sixth Sense or
yeah,
the
Sixth
Sixth Sense?
Sense.
Yes. Um,
I mean, I do that a lot. I mean, if you, oh yeah, I'm a big horror fan. Really?
yeah.
Do you know about Rosemary's Baby?
Rosemary's Baby was another one.
Oh, well, no.
Carrie was another one.
Well,
Actually,
they won't look at black and white films, which is absurd. I mean, the first Psycho, white.
Psycho, just that movie, and thinking about uh his shock value. There was no shock value in that movie. That movie is
No, the
pure.
just is the end.
Yeah, just it was pure drama, and the thrill of anticipation of seeing
Well, the shower scene was
something.
pretty
Yeah,
shocking,
yeah.
and
But
you know,
but it took seconds. That was seconds,
well,
and
the
yeah.
Pazuzu's only seconds.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all it
Um,
takes. You don't
yeah.
need the blood and gore and to scare somebody.
Well, two things. Number one, I did a play with Tony Perkins called Steam Bash in New
Oh,
York, which was marvelous, marvelous, darling, marvelous. And we became friends in the kind of thing that we saw each other. We would sit down, talk, and stuff like that. We didn't go out for lunch, and I saw him right before he died. He died of AIDS.
yeah. I think he's a
Talk
phenomenal
about getting
actor.
vaccinated. He's a great guy. And what was the other thing? My mind is
There's too much.
going.
No, not that your
Tony
mind's going. Is that
Perkins.
you got so much things
What did
going
you
on.
say right before? What
He's
did
a
you say right
he's a
before I
fabulous.
mentioned Tony Perkins?
I was mentioning
We talked
just
about
the
Psycho, and then we
just the
talked
film
about
itself.
Tony
How
Perkins. Oh, black and white films.
yes, black and white films, and also the effects of not putting so much into the film to be shock value, but putting less in and making it more of a
Oh,
you know,
there's a huge difference between what you call thriller nowadays and what you call horror, because all these kids, you know, they'll pick up a camera, and which you can do and make it look great and sound great and stuff, but there's no plot, there's no characters, there's no development, there's no arc. There's just, like you said, blood and guts and people pulling people's arms and legs apart and stuff. But if you don't have even God said first there was the word. And in my mind, you don't have a script, you don't have anything. So don't make a movie until you can sit down and write a script. And so that's why I really differentiate between thrillers and horror. And some things are kind of both, like Texas Chainsaw, God knows, has a whole lot of blood and gore in it, and others do. But basically,
Well, with Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
The Exorcist, all these movies, um, um, that they're thrillers.
right.
And surely The Exorcist is. I just like to differentiate between those things.
I would like to know how many young people today appreciate Alfred Hitchcock and the movies that he's done.
You
And
just froze, so I don't know
Oh.
what you said.
I said I would like to know today how many of the younger audience would like Alfred Hitchcock and would go back and watch Alfred Hitchcock, or even know.
Oh
his
no, it's
movies.
black and white. You can't watch
Yeah.
it. It's black and white. We don't watch black and white.
Yeah.
And black and white's my favorite medium. I mean, it's in photographs and films.
You brought up the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, that movie was in part realistic, though, and the part of Ed Gein, he was actually put into several movies like Silence of the Lamb, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because of the horror that he in real life committed. And they took parts of his doing and put it into different
Who?
movies. Ed
Who?
Gein. Ed Gein was a serial killer who took females and killed them and hung them inside of his garage and stored the body parts inside of his house and dug up his mom's grave. And see, that's a part of Psycho as well. He didn't want his mom to die. His mother died, and they buried her. And he went up and took her body out of the grave. And I think I think he's from Wisconsin, and he is the true massacre, or not massacre, but he's the true Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He's the true Psycho. He's also featured in Silence of the Lamb. Parts of his life has been shown off in those movies. And so those movies are realistic, although they do have a gore factor to them, over the top gore factor. Well, especially Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, I did a movie called Freeway Killer.
Oh,
And
wow.
now I can't think of it. I gotta look it up. Oh my God. I don't think it's because I'm getting old. I think our minds are just
You just are so
overwhelmed by
busy
so
with
much
the,
information.
yeah.
I played his mother, talking about mothers.
Mhm.
It didn't really go that far, as it did. Freeway Killer. I keep wanting to think Richard Donner, but it wasn't Richard Donner. Now I'm gonna have to figure it out.
There are plenty of mother roles in movies that the mother in Carrie to me was more scary than Carrie herself.
Oh, I think that's true.
Just the fact.
Forgive me, I'm looking down because I have to find out
Freeway
who this
Killer.
is about. Yeah, my own movie, Freeway. Go on, you can talk.
Freeway Killer. The mother in
William
Sicko.
Bonin. It was William Bonin.
Oh,
Who
okay.
probably wasn't as popular as some other people, but that's what he used to do. He would pick up young boys on the freeway that were hitching.
Oh, yeah.
And take them home and abuse them, sexually abuse them and whatnot until they were dead. And first he'd think, they were, most of them were gay.
Yeah.
Or many of them were gay.
Gay
So
prostitutes.
Who?
Gay prostitutes that he'd pick up and
Yeah, or just people who were hitching, both.
Yeah.
And he would take them home and they would think that there was a relationship going on and then he would kill them. So I played his alcoholic mother. Crazy. Yeah, she's naturally, she was a crazy mother. She was one of those mothers with her pet son. Could do no wrong and stuff like that. So anyway, people out there, you're looking for a movie you'd like to, have fun with. It's called Freeway Killer.
Now you have an extremely a large list of movies that, excuse me, that you have been in the past. How many movies have you been in?
IMDb says 140.
140. Okay.
Or some of them I don't even remember.
And some of them that you were in that I don't even remember you being in them, but I saw you credited for them, and that was like Halloween 2, the remake of
Oh
Rob
man,
Zombie's movies.
yo,
And
I could go out and shoot some people.
I
It was such a great little scene,
uh-huh.
and they cut it, and it wasn't that long, but it was really funny at the beginning of the movie. And why not put the humor in it? I mean, I play this lady living outside of Haddonfield who calls SpongeBob, of all people, who yeah. No, there's someone, and it was Michael Myers. He's big and he's hairy and he's so naked, and I'm very sweet. I said, well, I just don't know what to do, and da 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 da. And
does he have
he says Bigfoot. No, it's not Bigfoot. And then he goes, oh, some rabbit, and then I lose it. It ain't no fucking rabbit. And I said, oh, she's gone, and go back to that. And they just cut it for absolutely no reason, because the movie is so dark and methodical.
He doesn't have an unedited version with your part in it. I'm surprised.
No, not even in the director's cut. If you want to see it, you have to look at the deleted scenes.
Okay, wow. And
cost you a lot of money.
You did another movie with Rob Zombie, didn't you?
No,
there's just the one. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But nice, really, really nice. He said it wasn't his fault. He said, excuse the expression, it was Weinstein's fault.
Oh, geez. Harvey.
What a pathetic song. They just had footage of him being transferred to LA.
Really?
Just pathetic. Yeah. I can't imagine what goes on through his mind.
A huge icon in the movie industry, just a falling star, but it's
a lot of that went on. And just, God knows, I could tell you a bunch of Me Too episodes that happened to me. I was never raped. No, thank God. Never put myself in that position. But I'm not excusing him, because he crossed the line.
Oh, yeah.
But God knows, and certainly in the 80s, 90s, girls would put themselves out there.
But not just that, but the people who knew about it, the people who stood aside, the people that kind of thought but didn't want to say anything. That's my whole thing. I mean, how could you go for so long and continue to do that without anybody knowing? There was people that knew. I saw an interview,
because it was almost accepted, not the rape part, but sleeping with somebody to get a part.
The casting couch.
Yeah, and I thought with the advent of AIDS and stuff like that it would, these people would be nuts to, just want to have sex with someone they didn't know. But apparently, it did. It continued a lot. And but then he crossed the line. And, on any set, when you were a young actress, man, it's usually the first AD or the second AD. Those are assistant directors that have no power anyway. Say, come on, honey, I'll talk to some people for you.
Yeah.
So it was rampant. But like, I've said 5 times, he absolutely crossed the line.
I watched an interview, a Joe Rogan interview with Quentin Tarantino, and he brought up the subject to Quentin and asked him several questions about the time, because Quentin, that's how he got his movies started, and he's worked with them for so many years. I think it was 8 years that he worked with Harvey, and through so many movies. And he said, you didn't have any idea? And he said, well, he didn't have an idea of him being a rapist, but he did have an idea of him being a pig.
Being a what?
Being a pig. Yeah, a pig. Just treating girls, bad, like the comments that he's made and stuff like that. And there was times when he said I felt like pulling him aside and said, "Don't, you can't treat women like that or inappropriately." But he did not know about the rapes. He said, um,
Yeah, and women, were constantly throwing themselves at people in order to get a job,
"Yeah,
because they thought that would work. And now they buy their way into films.
oh, I know, yeah, that I know,
You just buy parts. People, do these GoFundMe or, Kickstarter campaigns, and they actually sell parts in movies. And people pay a lot of money. I know someone who, or heard of somebody, actually worked with somebody who paid $3,000 to be in this movie.
oh wow."
And
Now,
transportation and, food, and it's rampant. It's absolutely rampant in the indie business.
now you're still making movies. You've done
I'm making more movies now than I
yeah.
ever did in my life.
That's good though.
Oh
That's
yeah.
that's good though. So you're gonna actually film a movie next week.
Yeah, I'm starting a movie called Only the Devil
Only the devil.
here in LA, and I think it's a great script. It's a really good horror film. It's unique. Um, Things happen there that it's hard to be unique and make a horror film now. They've done everything, but this is a little bit unique, and it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's a lot of work.
That's
Um,
great.
but I'm looking forward to it. And then I'm supposed to go to West Virginia and shoot another movie called The Hag in September.
The heck.
So,
Busy.
and then, yeah, then other ones, I turned down a couple of films during COVID. I just didn't want to go to Texas, for instance, and stuff like that. But I did a lot of films. I've actually shot 10 films since September.
Oh wow, since September.
Yeah, I have to mention some of them because Thomas Churchill did Amityville Harvest, which has a great fright at the end. It's just it'll knock your socks off. And Joe Castro did the makeup, of course. Who's the if you want special effects now, he's just amazing what he does. And I've told him he's my favorite. FX director, makeup director since Dick Smith, who of course the Godfather makeup. So so I have to mention him. I have to mention Jason Hawkins. I did 2 films called The Bleeding Night. We just shot something called The Last Sleigh Ride, SLAY, where I played Granny Vampire.
Granny Vampire.
Oh, she's a great character. I mean, she couldn't hear. What did you say? And I want meat. I want meat.
So,
And suck blood off the floor. And
so did they have to bring the meat to you, or did you go out and have to find your own meat?
the kids come to the
Yeah.
house,
Yeah.
the kids somehow find themselves at the house, shooting, on Christmas Eve, looking for thrills and chills. Elisa Dowling plays the head of the vampire. She's fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And The Bleeding Dark I did with Courtney Gaines. Which was a home invasion. After the home invasion, when they were leaving, they kill his wife, and Courtney Gaines doesn't do anything about it, and so he's guilt-ridden. And the makeup on that is wonderful. Every time he walks out of the house, he sees his wife as a ghost, and just racked with guilt that he didn't stop it. And his son is the same way, but Courtney is aquaphobic. He can't leave the house. So I play his aunt that, know it all. What's going on? Yeah. But A Bleeding Dark will come out first, and it's a really, really good film. So yay, Jason.
Yeah,
And then, I did Clown Motel 2 for Joseph Kelly. He did Clown Motel 1 that a lot of people saw.
No, did you guys film at the Clown Motel?
I didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, people did. I performed. I played the Queen of the Clowns, and I worked in the caves in a different part of Nevada. The caves were part of the set. They were amazing.
Have you ever been to the Clown Motel?
I have not.
I've never even seen it, but I'm very curious to go there.
Well, if you see Clown Motel 1 or wait for Clown Motel 2, you'll see it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's one of the characters in the movie.
Now I'm going to talk a little bit how we met. I'm doing a.
Okay, but wait, I gotta
Okay, go
also
ahead, go ahead.
mention, I have to mention Fuzz, they're called Fuzz on the Lens. That's their production company, Michael Levy and Jason Levy. And that's comedy horror with Malcolm McDowell and Bruce Davison. I play a mom. I do play a mom in that, but she's nuts. And yeah, kudos to them. It's a really funny movie. You know, you guys out there watching this, take notes because I'm just mentioning, I've been really, really lucky. I can count on one hand the movies I'm embarrassed by and, you know, won't talk about them.
Well, one of your great roles was the movie Helter Skelter.
I loved it. I
You,
absolutely loved it.
you played one of the members of the Manson family.
Yeah, and I did a lot of research on them too. And the saddest part was if they had walked to the left instead of to the right and never met Charles Manson, they never would have killed anybody.
Oh,
they
yeah,
wouldn't be
definitely.
in jail. But it's just one of those life circumstances. And, you know, God knows you look at him in real life and you said, what was the attraction? But he had some kind of a charisma. And, you know, these poor women have been in jail their entire lives. So they should have been let out, but because of the hierarchy of who they killed, they'll never get out. But I love shooting it. A lot of time, a director's name was Tommy Grease, who unfortunately passed away at a rather young age, like these 50s. And there were times that I really felt like we were part of the gang.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Steve Railsback, who was, of course, brilliant, played Manson.
Well, that's
He'd
when
be
the director
singing
does
his
a good
songs
job.
around a campfire, and you just felt like it was just really real. And we
Did you-
shot in front of the courthouse downtown, all with shaved heads and stuff, and people would actually start screaming at us. They say, you know, get out of here. They thought we were real.
Yeah.
And, you know, because the camera would move someplace else and we were just where we were. So I'm sorry, you were saying something.
Did you shoot at the actual compound?
Yeah. And we shot up at Spawn Ranch. Yeah. It's spooky.
So it made it more realistic as well. Great directing.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was, you know, it was the second biggest movie of the week ever. The first one was Roots. And you audience out there, we used to have things called movies of the week. And Helter Skelter was 2 parts. And of course, Roots was just a phenomenon of itself. Yeah. I knew Brad Davis, who was in Roots, so I was on that set. But yeah, Helter Skelter, number 2 movie of all. I mean, humbly, I've been so blessed. I mean, The Exorcist, of course, the number 1 horror film. Helter Skelter, the second most seen film. General Hospital, which I was on for 2 years. Played a great character in General Hospital. I played a character in a mental hospital. Do you notice a trend here? And General Hospital won Emmys for all of us. And I was nominated to be nominated. In Steam Bath, you know, is like a phenomenon in itself with Tony. So like I've been very lucky. Emmy, Oscar, you know, Tony, but they didn't win a Tony. But everybody knew about the show, stuff like that. So in that way, I've been really, really blessed. Yeah.
What I was saying was how we met. We're doing an expo called Scare Fair in October 30th, Scare Fair. And I was looking at actors or special guests, and I came across you, and I wanted to see if I can get you to come to our event. And I didn't know how to reach out to you. And we have a certain guest on our panel. Her name is Missy Sahagan, and she did Appetite for Sin. And at the time when I was trying to get you to respond to me, I saw that she took a picture with you and she posted it.
I never saw it.
I said, yeah, she's leaning over you, and you guys took the picture together. And I said, you took a picture with Elaine, Eileen, and
Eileen.
Elaine, and she said, yeah. And
Eileen.
I said, can you reach out to her? She goes, I don't know how to. And it was just a couple of days that you responded back to me. It was just pure
Well, you
coincidence.
went on Facebook, didn't you?
Yes, I went on Facebook and I just took a chance and said, okay, maybe she'll answer her messenger. But I figured I'd take a shortcut and hopefully if she knows her, then I might go in that way. But she said, no, I really don't know how to get a hold of her. But you were in the movie Appetite for Sin.
She could have gotten in touch with me. You know, we spent a little time together.
Yeah, Mrs. Sahagan is one of our guests as well. And I didn't even know that she was doing movies. The way I approached her was I approached her from her clothing line, Manku shop. She has a clothing line there, but she was doing the movie Robert Mooks. Robert Mooks is in the movie with you as well, Appetite for Sin. And and he is the one that got me to get in touch with Walter Phelan from House of a Thousand Corpses, but I did not know that he was in the movie with you as well. So it all came full circle, but it worked out that I ended up getting you.
How did you pick October 30th? It's a really touchy.
I know it was a challenge. It was not my first choice. It was my partner's choice. He said he wants to do it on October 30th. And I was saying, that's like a day before Halloween. And we're starting this lineup so late. We might not get any vendors. We might not get any celebrities to come to this event because they'll probably be already booked.
Well, that's not the problem. The problem is so many people are out. I mean, I would even encourage you to change it now. So many people are out buying costumes or putting their party things together. And I did a show. I've done 2 shows. I did one show, the same thing, Halloween weekend. One of the best shows I've ever done. I can't remember where it was, but one of the best shows I've ever done. Totally prepped, totally happy, totally everything, and nobody came.
Oh, nobody came.
Because it was Halloween weekend.
Yeah. Well,
and I told them, like I'm saying now, I said, don't do it Halloween weekend. They said, no, it's a great weekend. It's Halloween. I said, people are busy that weekend. You know, if it's a weekend and Halloween is on a Wednesday, yeah. But people are just really, really busy that weekend.
Yeah. Well, the way we came about it was, or the way I looked at it was, we're at the San Bernardino Fairgrounds. And San Bernardino Fairgrounds is not in San Bernardino City. It's in Victorville. And being up in Victorville, they don't have events. They don't have haunted houses. They have to actually search for it or go inside somebody's garage for a scare, or they have to drive 40 minutes out of their way to go back down the hill. So to do an expo up here would be a treat for them because they'd never experienced an expo, for one. They never experienced the Halloween vendors that I have scheduled that are in LA County or Orange County. And they never had the celebrity panels, which is going to be up here as well. So this is an event that's for...
Oh, I think it's going to be a fabulous event. I'm just really worried people are going to be shopping for costumes and so costume or planning parties and stuff.
Yeah, I also have vendors that they could come to the event to shop for. I have mask makers and I have special effects, makeup artists.
Oh, it sounds fabulous.
Like that,
There's no question about it.
Yeah.
It's just like I said, I hope people are busy or they've gotten their costumes and masks and stuff like that already. Yeah. But we'll see. I don't want to. I'm not going to jinx it. But if you could pick
you're going to be here.
If you could pick a different weekend, it would probably be better.
Well, if it works out for us, then good, because we'll repeat it. If it does not, then we'll probably change it. But we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Hey, everybody, come out and see it. Do your Christmas, your Halloween shopping and stuff like that. But before the weekend. It's just one day, right? On Saturday.
Right. It's just one day on Saturday. It's October 30th at the San Bernardino Fairgrounds in Victorville between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m.
Yeah, we go through Victorville when we go to Vegas a lot to bet on football. Yeah. We're degenerate gamblers. And yeah, so obviously we go through Victorville.
So a football fan.
Very, very big football fan.
Are you from New York or are you from Michigan?
Michigan? How'd you get Michigan?
I don't
No,
know.
I grew up in New York City.
New York City. Okay. I thought I saw somewhere or I heard somewhere where you also grew up in parts of Michigan, but no. Okay. But New York. You grew up in New York.
Before we close up, can I show some of the stuff that
Oh,
I have for
definitely.
sale?
Definitely you can.
Should I do it now?
Yes, do it now.
Okay.
I was gonna ask who your football team was, being that you're from New
Dallas
York.
Cowboys.
Being from New York, you love the Dallas
My
Cowboys.
husband's from Philly, and he was watching football, and he fell in love with Roger Staubach.
Oh.
And never liked the Eagles. So that's how he became. I was a huge, and I've still always been a huge.
Was he banned from Philadelphia for life?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Because those fans are brutal.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Well, Thomas can be. In fact, he just walked by here with a knife. What are you doing with that knife?
Eating lemons.
He just walked by with this huge, big knife.
He's eating lemons.
Let me have that a second. Well, it's not huge, but it could hurt.
Oh, that is huge. For eating lemons.
No, I've always been a big Raider fan, and I'm not a warm weather fan or whatever they call it, but I had to step back for a while. They made some unbelievably bad choices in drafts and stuff.
The Raiders?
So the Raiders. But now I like them again. I mean, now they're in Vegas.
Vegas,
we'll see
yeah.
what was going on with Chucky. I actually bought 2 Chucky dolls when Chuck because Gruden looks just like Chucky.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I bought Chucky dolls years ago, and I still have them. Want to buy them, anybody? Yeah. Who's your team?
My team is the Minnesota Vikings.
Ooh, how
Yeah.
did that happen?
Okay.
Short story, because we're running out of
Short
time.
story. Yes, I'm a huge Prince fan, and I've been to Minnesota several times, and I just like their uniforms. I enjoy the story of the Vikings, the Scandinavian Vikings, and as a kid, I just grew up liking the Vikings, and I've liked them ever since the early '80s. So I stuck with them. I must say, because they've never won a Super Bowl. They've only gone to the Super Bowl twice, but yeah, stuck with them. And die hard, but
Yeah.
we will.
I remember Brett Favre. You played for the Vikings for a year.
for 2 seasons. He did get that first season. I don't know if it was a fluke or if he actually did something that helped. I think what it was the inspiration behind it. Having Brett Favre on the team really inspired them. So yeah, I think they won 16 games that season. So
yeah, who knows why some people just
yeah.
they just don't win. But no, we're Cowboy fans. We live with them. I'm a Dodger fan. And we live 10 minutes from Dodger Stadium.
I grew up a Dodger fan, and in the early 80s, I changed to an Oakland A's fan.
To who?
Oakland A's.
That's weird.
I know. And I just a couple of years before they went to the World Series against the Dodgers in '88, and they lost against the Dodgers. But yeah, but
they're doing well this year, though.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But I became a Met fan because the Dodgers left. I went to Ebbets Field when I was about 3 years old or something.
The Brooklyn Dodgers were gone.
Yeah, but so I became a Met fan, and I went to opening day at Shea Stadium. But they look really good this year. I mean, now I guess they're second in my heart, and my nephews and nieces are huge Met fans. They grew up in New York. Anyway, this is my book.
Show me some stuff.
This is my book, Exorcising My Demons, and I'll talk about anything you ever wanted to know about The Exorcist in there.
Yeah, love the picture.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Plus, all about my audition. I told you about the play. Right. And all about my audition and what I did to get cast. And there's funny stories. They told me I had to get even smaller, and I was tiny. So they had magazines that you could buy the plastic thingies, and you put them on, you sweat off pounds. So I didn't know how to do that. So I took saran wrap and I wrapped my body in saran wrap and rode my bicycle through Central Park. So the stories like that, and the audition and how I prepared for it. Because how do you prepare to act a demon? So I went to the library and got pictures of wild animals. So things like that, and then meeting Dick Smith and going to his incredible lab. He told stories about Marlon Brando and Dustin Hoffman and stuff like that, and then shooting it, and um, uh, the good stuff. Like I said, anything you've ever wanted to know. Plus, the beginning is about dreams, about following your dreams. Even doesn't have to be an actor or director. It can be a costume shop or a makeup shop or having kids or a bakery. Anything that you really, really want to do, and don't let people dissuade you from it.
Are you also going to have your book there at the Scare Fair as well for a book signing?
Say that one more time.
Are you also going to have your book there at Scare Fair?
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll have my book everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you want to get it before that, I usually sell most things off Facebook.
Yeah.
So go to Facebook. I have 3 accounts for some reason. It's the one with me as a clown from Clown Motel.
And what other goodies do you have?
And this is Pazuzu's head. That is what starts the whole movie.
Oh yeah.
They go to Iraq, and this is a replica of the original head. So, and that comes in a plastic case, which I don't have sitting back here, but it's a plastic, things you put baseball cards in.
Right.
Pazuzu's head sits there so that you can show it.
That is so cool.
And this is the pièce de résistance. Is my Pazuzu statue. And this is the only one that exists. I mean, my statues are the only ones that exist. My friend in Colorado makes them. And they're made of resin, and they're really quite something else. And besides that, I saw, the original Exorcist script, of course, about 12 pictures from the film, including Pazuzu, the vomiting scene, which I did, all kinds of different pictures, which I do have a website, which is eileendietz.com, but don't order anything off there because it won't work. You have to look at the website and then come back to Facebook. So I have that. I have greeting cards. I got pins. I got a whole store.
That's Eileen Dietz.
You'll see it at your show. I need 2 tables.
Okay. Eileen Dietz.
You got Elaine stuck in your head, don't you? Eileen. Eileen to the right, Dietz. Eileen to the left. Sit down.
EILEEN. Dietz is DIETZ.
Yeah, and you're welcome to come to Facebook. I might have some room. I don't know. If you do it right now, you probably can. I should use my fan page, but I don't. Because I like to answer people. Just don't send me a private message unless you want to buy something. Really, this demon gets very angry. Because the private message is a private message. And they're reserved for friends, close friends and family. And if you want to buy something. So
do you keep your Instagram current?
I'm so bad on Instagram. I don't know why. It frustrates me. I can't find things. I know how to add things, but I can't find other people. But it's always my new resolution. But yeah, I'm on Instagram.
So mainly Facebook. Do you have any other social medias, Twitter, or anything else?
I have Twitter, but I never look at it.
Okay.
I'm busy.
I know you are.
No, but very Instagram, I'd really like to use more. And I keep having people that are supposed to teach me or help me do it, but then they don't.
The funny thing about Instagram is I've always used Facebook as a social media tool. But once I started this project of Scare Fair, I found Instagram to be more of a tool to promote it and to get it out there a lot easier. It's weird how social
Okay,
media
well,
works.
promote my page and I'll get followers. I can't get off of 1,800 followers.
Oh, I think we're at 18. Oh, I think we're at 2,000 now. But yeah,
Oh, you've done more than me. No, it's something that I just don't.
it's
And a
just
friend
yeah.
that my manager's son is supposed to help me with it. So the one thing I need to do is send him a picture every day, so he can put that up.
Well, your social media is actually okay. They can find you on Facebook. Facebook is fine. I enjoy using Facebook more because I could put more information into that. But who
It's
knows where
just
social media
it's
is?
really just easier for me.
Yeah. Well, Eileen, it was great talking to you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome very much.
Thank you. I am honored to have you on today. For you,
And so we're working at the fairgrounds, not as a hotel, right?
we're
Okay.
working at the fairgrounds, San Bernardino Fairgrounds in Victorville. That's where we'll be. We'll be in an exhibit hall. You need 2 tables, not one.
And we're staying at a hotel.
Yeah, you're staying at the Hilton. Yeah. So
Okay. Well, okay, you guys, I encourage you to get your costumes ready by Friday. Get your parties ready. Buy your stuff all on Friday so you can come out and see us.
yes, definitely come on, sis.
It's a one time. Right now, we don't know. Who knows about next year? We don't know about the future. We can only assume.
Well, do you know who the Terrifier is?
Well, yeah, that's where. Remember, I told you Fuzz on the Lens that did Abnormal Attraction.
Mhm.
They're
David-
the production company on it, and I think Michael's in it. Yeah.
David Horowitz and David Howard Thornton. David Howard Thornton's an actor. He's actually going to be at Scare Fair next year, but they're having another movie come out on I think the same weekend or the week before Scare Fair. So, but that was another horror movie that I think is going to come up and be really like today's what they consider today's classic. But
Well,
we'll see.
it did the first Terrifier came out, didn't it?
Yes, the first one came out.
Yeah, they're working on the second one now.
Yeah, and they finished it and it's a wrap and they're gonna have it released in October. So
You should get talk to Michael and Jason about being on the show.
oh yeah, definitely.
I'll tell them to check you out.
Great, thank you very much.
They're great guys. They really are. They're absolutely just terrific people and extremely talented and easygoing and they
I'd
have
love for them.
humor and stuff like. They're just great guys. I've actually done 3 projects for them. That was just the latest one.
So they obviously love you.
I do remain friends with most of the people I work with.
That's great. Well,
alrighty. Well,
thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Finish my thing and do what I need to do, and learn some lines. And it was good talking to you. I'll see you on the 30th.
Okay. Thank you all for listening and watching. My public life as an American nerd.
Go to my Facebook and buy my stuff. Or go to my webpage and see what's up there.
Buy her stuff and come out and see her.
Yeah, both. Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oh, I promise you. Ahead. Wait. If you come out and see me and mention this show, I'll give you a small gift.
Oh, wow. You mentioned this show, you get a small gift. Okay. So you got to watch this show till the end to get to hear this message. So
yeah, well, you could have done it at the beginning. Okay, bye-bye.
I'll write it in. Bye.
Yeah, we can do this. Bye-bye. Leave meeting.
Bye.